So in this problem, we're told to evaluate the indefinite integral. Remember to use absolute values where appropriate, and use c for the constant of integration. So we're given the integral of the cotangent of 50x times dx. So the first thing to understand here is we have like the cotangent of 50x, right? So what you should do is rewrite this as, well, we know cotangent is the inverse of tangent, right? Tangent is sine of x over cosine of x. So the inverse of it is just going to be cosine on top. So we can rewrite this as the cosine of 50x over the sine of 50x dx. So in this form, it makes it much more apparent what we're supposed to do. So what we got to do is choose u, right? Because we're doing u substitution. But what can we set equal to u? Well, if we choose the sine of 50x, the derivative of sine is cosine, right? So it could cancel out with this. So we're going to choose u to be the sine of 50x. And then, so what we got to do is find the derivative of it. So we use the chain rule, right? So the derivative of sine is cosine. Then we got to do it with respect to the inside, so 50x. Then multiply by the derivative of the inside, which is just 50. So the derivative of u is 50 times the cosine of 50x. And then we got to add dx after it. And then we got to solve for dx. So dx is just, well, we can divide both sides by the cosine of 50x. That would cancel, and then we do the same thing on this side. So it's just going to be du over 50 times the cosine of 50x. So now that we got that, what we want to do is rewrite our integral. So we have cosine of 50x on top, and then we replace sine of 50x with u, right? Because that's what u is equal to. And then what we want to do is replace dx with what we solved dx to be, so du over 50 times the cosine of 50x. And so what you should see here is that these two can cancel. So the cosine of 50x cancels with the cosine of 50x. So we're just left with, this would become 1 over u, right? And then you have the 1 over 50. So I'm going to add that out front. Because this is 1 over 50, we're just moving it out front. So 1 over 50 times, and this is going to become 1 over u. And times du. So now we got it like this. All we got to do is find the antiderivative and then plug u in. So the antiderivative of 1 over u, we should know that the derivative of ln of u is 1 over u, right? So it's basically the same in reverse, except for it's only the absolute value of the ln of u. So the antiderivative of 1 over u is the ln of the absolute value of u. And then we have the 1 over 50, right? So we just multiply it. Our constant stays the same. And then we got to add plus c, right? Because we're finding the antiderivative. It tells us to use c. And then, so now we got it like this. All we got to do is replace u, what we chose for u to be. So the sine of 50x. Our final answer is just going to become 1 over 50 times the ln of the absolute value of the sine of 50x, and then plus c. So this right here is going to be your final answer.